statistics to beat teachers with. We have children who are coming to school hungry, yet we have a government who refuse to fund universal free school meal entitlement. So this action that we are taking on pay is about all of that. It's to draw attention to all of that. This is not an either-or situation. So in the beginning, Shirley Ann tried to frighten us with that. If we give you a pay rise, we're going to make more cuts to education. Absolutely no way. It's not either-or. It all has to be funded right. The government needs to fund it all properly. Teacher, you'll have heard this phrase used before. I'll say it again. It's important to remember. Teachers' working conditions are our pupils' learning conditions. One can't be underfunded at the expense of the other. They both have to be funded properly. They are one and the same. So the government claim they have no money. Well, we say their economy is all wrong if they can't afford to pay the workers who are fundamental to society a decent wage. So we say go back to the drawing board and think again. We need a fairer economy, as Roz mentioned, that has what matters most to society at its very heart. The government have claimed that they will leave no stone unturned to find that money. Well, we can definitely help them with that, and there will be comms coming out from headquarters to point out some of those stones and what's underneath them, right? So we know that they have reserves and tax raising powers that they're refusing to use for our fair and reasonable pay rise. But please remember, as our colleagues have mentioned this morning, earlier on today, we are part of a greater movement. We are joining with other unions to say enough is enough and to demand better from our government. So we say to the Scottish Government, don't use the Tory tactics and using language that others unions, the unions say this, the unions say that, the unions want this, they want to do this and that. We are the union. We are the union. You are the union. The EIS is our union. And it is exactly what it says on the tin. It's 65,000 members, individuals who are united in taking action. We are in unison, we work in unison, we act in unison. And when we do that, when we work together, when we're in union together, in union, as a union, we are the union, we can really, really change things. We have the power to do it. We collectively made the decision to take action over pay. We will collectively make that decision when this action ends. People say to me, what will we accept? What will we go for? The answer is, what will you go for? What will you accept? The percentage that we finally land on, you will make the decision on that. You will be invited to vote on that, and I urge every one of you you look like to me like the kind of people that definitely will. I think I'm preaching to the converted, but we need to get that message out to get people, your members will make the decision on this. So we stand united. It's not an either or. It's not give it to the teachers, not to the nurses. It's not a race to the bottom. A win for us is a win for everyone. And absolutely. So the power of the union is when 65,000 teachers work together and take action in union. This is democracy in action, and this is the way the EIS has been doing this for 175 years. This is our anniversary, as you know. For 175 years, we have been changing big things. We've gone from belts and canes to classes of 60 to better conditions, although we're not there yet, right? Remember, when the EIS started, women weren't even allowed to be in universities, right? And now, and when they were, and women started to be able to become teachers, they were legally allowed to be paid less than men. None of that changed. None of that, we never get rid of belts or anything like that. We never get all of that. None of that could change without the power of people working together, taking action, campaigning. It's us who make the changes. It's workers who make the changes. It's trade unions make the difference. So it's really, really important that yourselves of that this is the next part of the fight, and that's what we're doing today. It's our turn. This is how society advances. So just remember then, this is, just to sum up, this is a bit more than pay. Education has been underfunded for far too many years now. We cannot accept that what the Scottish Government is funding education with is anywhere near enough. So what are we doing about it? We are striking. So workload for the teachers has also increased. It's not reduced. We need a workforce that has a manageable workload if we're going to keep people in the profession and prevent burnout. So what are we doing about it? We're striking. We have young people who are not being attracted into teaching because the paying conditions are so poor compared to other graduate professions. We've got far too many supply teachers who can't get work, far too many teachers in temporary contracts, and in some subjects we can't even get teachers. So what are we doing about it? Well done. We want to see an end to the gender pay gap and the downgrading of status in professions that are mainly made up of women. This is fundamentally sexist in origin. What are we doing about it?
We're striking.
Well done. Excellent. And we all are seeing young people and families who are in an absolutely shocking, disgusting position of making choices between food and fuel. And we have a government who, as I said earlier, refused to fund universal free school meals. So what are we doing?
We're striking.
Well done. We are striking about all of that. We are striking about all of that. We have got a duty to ensure that the generation of young people who are looking to us know that they don't have to take this situation lying down. So it's really important that we realise that we're an example to them. This is a protest about the way teachers and education have been devalued and underfunded, and our outrage at the way poverty has increased in our society. We demand a fairer economy, we demand to be heard, so don't lose heart, keep the bigger picture in view. And yes, we are absolutely, like you, we're going to be financially inconvenienced by this. There's no question. But what we are going to gain in the long, and we are going to gain it, what we are going to gain is going to be far better. So remember, you are worth it. You kept the education together when this country was gripped by a deadly pandemic. We have borne the brunt of the cuts and the changes, so we deserve a pay rise. And we have to do this. We have to do it because we know that we're right. We know that we're in the right. We have the moral high ground in this situation. I mean, put your hand up if you went into teaching for the money. Nobody does. Nobody does. Nobody goes into teaching. Nobody goes to university for 4 years, 5 years to become to go into teaching because you want loads of money. But if we don't stand firm on this, right? If we don't stand firm on this, we will allow our profession, which we love, which nurtures our young people from their early years right until they leave school, to fall into even further decline. So we must do it. We have to be strong. We've got a duty to ensure that the education system that we leave will be handed over to this next generation that are coming up behind us in a better state. You have to see the next generation of teachers coming up behind you, thanking you for the way you left education for them. Just like I would like to genuinely thank the teachers of the 1980s who went out on strike. Sorry Dave, I was at school in the 1980s when the teachers were on strike, and yeah, I went to Hillside Academy, which was in an authority that must have had a Tory MP, because we were one of the targeted schools, right? So I was only at school on a Monday and a Friday for it seemed like months because our teachers went on strike. The legacy that left with me was that I realised that striking works. Striking, that's what we do. When I started teaching, I couldn't wait to join the union. In fact, I couldn't wait to join the EIS because I knew they were the ones that took the real action. and my wages were better off for me because of the action that they took. So that's what we have to. We've got an opportunity now to do that for another generation of teachers, and we have to take it. So, colleagues, remember, who is the union? We are the union. Are you worth it?
Yes.
Can we do it?
Yes.
You absolutely better believe it. Yep. So solidarity to you all. Keep the faith. We can do it. Thank you.